Furby. Standing at less than a foot tall, retailing for about $35, the Furby was the must-have toy of the 90s. So, why do people hate them so much? Look, I tell people I collect Furbies. I obviously like Furbies. Why? Every time I say it, they go, "Oh my God, that's so scary," or "Oh my God, how could you have demons in your bedroom?" Okay, no, it's nothing like that. These are toys, but people think they're demons. Why? Why do they think that? Well, that is because they don't understand them. See, all fear just comes from misunderstanding. So, today I am here to tell you about the lovely, the wonderful Furby, and hopefully give you some more background knowledge so you don't hate them as much. I mean, I'm not gonna make you pro Furby or anything, but like, hey. The year was 1998. Two people, Caleb Chung and David Hampton, were setting out to do something that had never been done before. Create a real digital pet. No, not like a real pet, like a little robot, like they wanted to make the Tamagotchi, but like you could hold it. Anyway, so they set out to do that. And after about 9 months of tinkering around in their garage, they came up with a prototype for the Furby, which they then sold to Tiger Electronics. And in the Toy Fair of 1998, the Furby premiered, ready to be on the shelves for the Christmas season. Christmas of 1998, Furbies could not be kept off the shelves. They were the must-have toy for the season. They were being resold at exorbitant prices, $100, $300. These things were supposed to be like $35, but people could not get enough of them. They wanted these little things for their kids. Their kids wanted them. They were everywhere. Everyone had Furby fever. And there were the fakes that began to pop up. The Boomy, the Kooby, the Furbish, the Baby Brainy, the Foodie, the Ferdy, the Marmo, the Gizmo, the Poopo, the Poppy, the Dubby, the phone secretary. They had to put little purple tags on the new ones. They had to put little purple tags on them so people knew which ones were the Furby versus the Ferdy. It was insanity. This massive success led to the production of a smaller, but still just as cute Furby baby, and a Shelby, which was a weird clam-like Furby-esque thing that just talked like a pirate, and that was kind of near the end of the Furby's life cycle. Anyway, just like nowadays, not everyone was into Furbies. There were many reports of Furbies being haunted, but this was really just due to them glitching out because they were made of cheap Chinese electronic parts and mass-produced in multiple factories. Fun fact, you can tell which factory a Furby is from by looking at the branding on the bottom of their butt. You can't really see it, but it says RL. You won't be able to see it though, but it says RL. It's the RL factory. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's RL. And of course, the number one hater of the Furby was the US government. This is because there was a widespread myth that Furbies heard words and repeated them, which was very untrue. Furbies have pre-programmed languages into them that they start speaking English words at certain points in their cycle. So, they were banned from the Pentagon for about, I don't know, a couple years. Wait, Lillian, you haven't even explained what Furbies do and what they are. Great observation. Quick Furby anatomy lesson with our dear friend and newest addition to my family, Carrot Cake. So, as I said before, Furbies were meant to be kind of a real Tamagotchi. So you interact with it in the way you would any kind of digital pet, where you can pet it on the back, you can feed it so it doesn't go hungry and die, you can poke it on the tummy and give it tickles, you can turn it upside down and he'll freak out about it, and you can cover his eyes and there's a light sensor right there, so he'll go, "Ah, it's dark," or whatever that means in Furbish. And there's also a small microphone right about there where it will react to sounds. Furbies also have their own language called Furbish, which they start out speaking completely first out of the box. And then around I believe it's 2 to 3 hour play cycle, they will start speaking more and more English along with their Furbish. And every Furby comes new in box with a Furbish to English dictionary, which you can use to reference. And there's also a bunch of resources online because it's not 1998 anymore. and all good things must come to an end. By 2001, with the introduction of the Shelby, sales began declining steeply. The Shelby sold very poorly. Furbies began showing up in secondhand shops, and they even had a whole unproduced series of Furbies with different eye colors and fur colors. But that's okay, because the Furby will always be fondly remembered in the hearts of the 90s kids. Until 2005, when they made a new one. So to be completely honest with you, I've lost the battery case to this guy, so I'm gonna hold his battery terminals together with tin foil so you can see what I'm talking about a little bit. He's moving. Hey Furby. Sing me a song.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ida.
Ida who?
I'd like to be your friend.
Aww. The main reason for the redesign was to compete with the now popular Fur Real Friends series of toys, which were essentially small robotic pets that would look and act like real animals, which they attempted to do with the Furby. But no amount of rudimentary voice recognition and crappy CGI movies could save the Furby from yet another downfall. However, you will always be fondly remembered in our hearts. They made another one. 2012 saw the rise of the new and improved Furby. These are about the same size as the original Furby, except they have glowing LCD eyes, no voice recognition like the 2005 Furby, and a wider range of motion, which I will display for you momentarily. I'm trying to make it go on his eyes and it's not working very well. But if you can see, these things have fun, expressive little eyes, obnoxiously annoying voices, and were meant to appeal to kids of the 2010s instead of the 90s. This Furby was the first to be app integrated. The Furby itself communicates with the application using a bunch of high-pitched little chirps that is barely audible to the human ear. That still couldn't save it. Furby sales were once again mediocre, and even though the 2012 did quite well and gave birth to the 2013 boom, which is actually what I just showed you, the only difference is patterns, they made more. They kept making them. For the very last time, we have the Furby Connect. This Furby also totes those ever so expressive LCD eyes. These ones are actually in color. It also comes with a sleep mask so you can shut it up when you need to. Instead of communicating with high-pitched chirps, these Furbies are actually Bluetooth. That's right, they connect to Bluetooth, which connects to your phone, then you can use the app to feed and bathe the Furby. It's a bit easier to see on this guy, but he's got... He's got lovely blue eyes. And a charming personality. This Furby reacts to sound like the other ones. It also doesn't have certain buttons to pet. There's a whole sensor back here so it can just feel when you're doing it. You say anything else? The Furby Connect was the final nail in the coffin for the Furby, retailing at a whopping $80 compared to the modest prices of $60 for the Furby Boom and $35 for the Furby Original. No one bought it. So now, we live in 2019, the year of no Furbies being produced or even conceived. Why do people still like them? What do people do with them now? Well, the most obvious answer is they collect them. Since 1999 and 1998 Furbies were in such high demand when they were being made, there's a slew of them out there. Unfortunately, they usually are about worth the same price, which they retailed for, $35. You'll find some that are more rare editions, like the Easter edition or the Christmas edition, which can go from $50 to $60, or the rare Kid Cuisine Furby, which can go for up to $200. However, try not to pay more than $20 for a Furby, because at that point you're just wasting money for a toy that hasn't been made since the 90s and probably will break. When base models aren't enough for people, they start modding Furbies. There's everything from basic circuit bent Furbies to the Furby organ to the darling of the internet, Long Furby. Long Furby has become somewhat of a phenomenon herself. Created by Tumblr user Furby Fuzz, now active on Instagram as Furby Fuzz, she brought Furbies back into the internet's cultural consciousness. People have started making long Furbies, fat Furbies, square Furbies, chair Furbies, bear Furbies, and so much more. Odd Furbies have become their own breed of Furby. It's kind of crazy, really. What started as a simple idea, a tangible Tamagotchi, ended up becoming one of the most beloved toys of the 90s, which was then adapted again, and again, and again, until finally it was released to the artists and hackers of the internet to create something completely different, but very recognizably Furby. Only time can tell what's in store for these little robots, so next time you see one out in the wild, don't fear, smile, for it's taken a long journey to get to you. As long as you don't feed them after midnight, you should be fine. Anyway, I'm Lillian Helmus, and thank you for watching.